If you guys have been wondering why I haven't really been talking a whole lot, except for just, taking jabs at this stupid committee, is because I always thought that you'd have to tread lightly around the central issues, which I believe one side of the story when it comes to this, the side that's not being represented, because this is just basically like opening and closing arguments of a regular trial over and over and over again. There's no pushback on this stuff. There's no substantiation of claims. It's just Orange Man bad. Here, listen to our slick presentations, if you will. Throw to the screen. Terrific. Yes, so I wasn't going to be playing any of this stuff too terribly close because I definitely have my opinions on the substance of this. It's just YouTube has another stance that we all need to take, of course, right? Because that's the correct stance. Whatever. YouTube removes January 6th panel video of Trump claiming election fun times. Yeah, no, exactly. It was going to be a lot of that stuff. So that's what a lot of the testimony centers around, okay? And then what actually happened, including some of the guided tours that happened at the Capitol. And of course, that's all very tragic and all very terrible. And especially the people that were there are just all neo-Nazi white supremacists, which is exactly why Stephen Colbert's crew was let into the U.S. Capitol by Adam Schiff staffer. Huh. Weird. Okay, so I guess when he said that he has all the documents, did that include press badges for people that work at the Tonight Show or the Late Show? I don't even know which one of those hacky fucking evening talk shows that Stephen Colbert runs. All I know is it's cringe-inducing. Staffers for Representative Adam Schiff and another member of Congress allowed producers with Stephen Colbert's show into the U.S. Capitol before the producers were arrested, according to Representative Rhoda Davis of Illinois. Interesting. A Republican from Illinois who's not a spineless crying bitch? Weird. It's my understanding that these individuals were brought in by someone associated with Adam Schiff's office. Ooh, Davis, the top Republican of the House Administration Committee. Yeah, and that'd be the dude who has the logs, so yeah. Said on Fox News. 7 people were arrested on June 16th. Oh, took them that long, huh? Around 8:30 p.m. at Longworth House Office Building because they did not have an escort and did not have congressional identification, the U.S. Capitol Police said. Officers determined the individuals were part of a group that had been asked to leave earlier in the day and charged the people with unlawful entry, huh? The building and other office buildings are linked to the Capitol by tunnels. Yes, exactly. But it was so traumatic because that's where that's what AOC means by I was so close to all of those people that insurrected the Capitol that day because I was held up in my office and I was in a bathroom and I was so scared. Bitch was in her office. That was across a freeway. But it was connected by tunnels, so they were just literal moments away from breaking down the door and feeding her a sugar cube with a flattened hand. A CBS spokesperson confirmed that Colbert production teams were the ones arrested. Why would you do that? Why? The team was recording interviews with a comedy segment on behalf of Colbert's show on Wednesday and Thursday. Why didn't you? Oh my God, you work with mass media, okay? Mass media at the Capitol building. You couldn't just ask for clearance? Unfucking believable. The team was recording interviews for, a comedy segment on behalf of Colbert's show on Wednesday and Thursday. The interviews were authorized and prearranged through congressional aides of members interviewed, the spokesperson said. After leaving the member's office on their last interview of the day, the production team stayed to film stand-ups. Oh my God. Could you imagine? And other final comedy elements in the halls when they were detained by Capitol Police. Interesting, all of this stuff. If you were looking for like actual comedy in Washington, D.C., we'll get back to this statement here specifically, but another statement. If they were looking for anything that was actually funny, just go wait out in the front lawn of the White House and don't worry, Joe will trip and fall over something. That would actually be funny. But that's the current state of late night talk shows. You're going to get interviews from just some of the most boring, fucking banal people on earth. And that's what you're passing off as comedy. Like, unless you put a laugh track underneath of it and you Photoshop on a clown wig, you ain't getting laughs from fucking anybody that's there. Unless, of course, you get a couple of shots into Nancy Pelosi or you just wind up Maxine Waters. That could actually be funny, but Whatever. The USCP did not respond to a request for the identities of those arrested. Yeah, they probably just look for the puddles underneath. Whoever's in the holding cells with the side shaves and the different colored hair and the fucking thick problem glasses. Those are the ones that are there, okay? That's why we've got to get more information, Davis said, and that's why we need an investigation. We need to make sure that we understand who's in the offices or brought these individuals in. Yep, exactly. Tit for tat, motherfuckers. You got some people hanging out there, which Tucker Carlson called an insurrection, hilariously enough, because they did, just about the exact same damage that an overwhelming majority of the people did. Okay, they walked around in some offices and tried to talk to people. Were somewhat successful. Probably got as good material on that day as they did there. According to preliminary information, the congressman has received unintentional office initially let the team into the Capitol during the House of Representatives panel investigation. Investigating the January 6, 2020 Capitol breach. After the group was removed, a staffer with a different member's office, reportedly Jake Auchincloss, a Democrat of Massachusetts, enabled the group to enter the nearby building. Oh, good. Spokesperson for shit and Auchincloss, that's got to be close, did not return inquiries. Yeah, they were too busy trying to figure out how they could blame Trump for this. The group was spotted banging on the doors of the office, including the office of House Minority Leader Kevin McCarthy, according to Davis. All right. Davis contrasted the situation with the one involving Representative Barry Loudermilk, who, we've got his full statement right here. Representative Barry Loudermilk mocked the House January 6 Select Committee after production team associated with Stephen Colbert's late-night comedy show was arrested on Capitol Hill. I hope that they actually get charged because, again, they're trespassing, and what's good for the geese should be good for the... I was going to use a very derogatory word right there. I guess you can probably fill in the blanks. Starts with an F and ends with an agate. The Georgia Republican who attracted scrutiny for giving a tour of the Capitol on January 5th, 2021. Why? Just one day before the complex became the site of a riot attempting to overturn the 2020 election results. Was that exactly what they were doing? Was it really? Argued the actions of Colbert's crew were hypocritical. Yeah, sounds like they were trying to pressure some elected representatives to be giving statements and maybe trying to get them to change their mind on certain perspectives depending on what interviews they were going to try to ask. So to me, that sounds like an insurrection. They've accused me of giving this family that came to my office for a meeting. We took them to lunch. They're accusing us of being a reconnaissance tour. He said Saturday at the Faith and Freedom Coalition Road to Majority Conference in Nashville. You need to work on your naming of your conventions that are out there. That's just far too long and annoying. Adam Schiff, a member of the January 6th committee, illegally brought Stephen Colbert's comedy team. See, at least this guy was talking to regular workaday people, like a family, as opposed to Adam Schiff, who I think he was probably just born in like a pod somewhere. But yeah, he has to speak to other equally plastic individuals or other androids at the Capitol and left them unescorted at night, and they were arrested. Yay. So they're accusing me of giving illegal tours in the Capitol. They're giving illegal tours of the Capitol. Actually, they're not even giving tours. They're just letting them roam about these hallowed sacred halls where we could just be assaulted by these people. But judging by the fact that they work for the Late Show, the Tonight Show, who gives a fuck show, all the assaulting they could do is probably just going to be scratching and look something like this. So I wouldn't be too terribly scared. Loudermilk described the criticism he received over the January 5th tour, which was the subject of much of the questions from the House Committee investigation of the January 6th riot, as a part of a broader cancel culture. Saying that he is determined to stand up for the truth. Capitol Police Chief Tom Manger said his force did not consider many of the activities were observed as suspicious regarding Loudermilk's tour. Yeah, exactly. He was talking with a family, took them through the house that their tax dollars probably help fund. Okay, just throwing that out there. As opposed to a bunch of unpaid interns for that parade as a comedy team. Comedy on CBS. Bit suspect. We're in a war against truth in this nation. Yeah, and this panel perfectly exemplifies that. If they can destroy the truth, they will undermine everything that we stand for in this nation and everything that it's about, and that's what they do through hypocrisy. Members of the Colbert Connected group, originally at the Capitol for last Thursday's January 6th hearing, were charged with unlawful entry and released. What? They should be charged, and because they insurrected the Capitol, guess they should be prosecuted to the fullest extent of the law. If that's what happened with multiple of the other people that were there for just a simple tour of the Capitol. And hell, they had armed guards helping them through as well. You've seen some of those pictures and videos, though. The horrific scenes of police officers opening up doors, waving people in, moving barricades out of their way, telling them, just don't break anything. They're like, yeah, no, that's cool. Giving them garbage bags so they have places to put some of their discarded trash in the aftermath. Oh, yes, and then, of course, the most dangerous person of all was the granny with the little flag just standing there in the aftermath, and I don't even know if they've been able to clean up the Capitol. God only knows how many dozens of dollars was wasted in the most horrific tragedy to ever happen to the United States since 9/11 or the Civil War. Can't quite remember, but it was definitely tragic, and that's why we need to have these show trials that we haven't had since the days of fucking communism. How appropriate. But with all of that said, thank you all very much for the gift of your time. I've been Don Consuelo. I want you to follow your gut and get after it. Take care, everyone.